I am still Mazi Dibia, the teaching magnet. I can book a Mazi Dibia one leg walker. Ojinkuzi emoji. Onyo kalatule nebo bala. Mobile couldn't say I like it. I'm Wanyanando, Anambra State. Today I am streaming live from 3 different platforms. I repeat, today I am streaming live from 3 different platforms. If you go to Facebook, you will see me. If you go to TikTok, you will see me. And if you go to YouTube, you will see me live. So I am streaming live from 3 different platforms to add value to the teaching of the day. Afoki ejido fe kenenge. Ndidi eze ekenenge, Tony Mosa ekenenge. So, for those on YouTube, I greet you. Those on TikTok, I greet you. Those watching from Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, I greet all of us. The reason is that we are trying to have a wider audience whereby people can come in and air their opinion. But today's teaching is strictly on ụmụaka and ụmụazi. I repeat, growing up, there are some Igbo languages we have been using wrongly. And that is exactly what I'm about to correct today. Akweke, I see you. If I continue greeting everybody that I see you, I will not go up in the teaching. So assume that I've seen everybody here and I'm going to see the people that are still coming. Looking at the audience, we have so many people watching from TikTok, from Facebook, from YouTube. Looking at the audience, why did I make a video and said that we've been doing some things wrongly? The topic of today is what is the difference between ụmụaka and ụmụazi? What makes me a renowned teacher is this. For every topic, some of the things you've been hearing, I will scrutinize it so well to your better understanding. Maka n'Igbo na anazi ana. Kedu ife bụ ụmụaka, kedu ife bụ ụmụazi? What is the disparity between ụmụaka and ụmụazi? For those on TikTok, I will beg you to power tap. For those on YouTube, I will beg you to share. For those on Facebook, I will beg you to like, comment, and share. By pressing the like button, it boosts the live stream. If you have any gift to drop on TikTok, you can drop. I don't know whether for now they have given me the right to earn stars. Why do you do all these things? To encourage the host so that I can be able to come back again and do more. Now let me go into the teaching proper. Please always ask question that is in line with today's teaching. Don't ask question that is not in line with today's teaching. There are days I will tell you that today is a random question. But today's teaching, you have to listen first before you have question. Today's teaching is the difference between ụmụaka and ụmụazi. I just started, you did not come late. The difference between ụmụaka and ụmụazi. Now listen. Many people think that when you say ụmụaka, there is no problem. Then when you say ụmụazi, there is no problem. So many people have commented, those half-baked students. Many have commented, normally, you are welcome, I welcome rubbish. Because I know as a teacher, they have lied to us. So my job is to accept the rubbish and try my best to correct it. So some people who are uninformed have gone to my comments to tell me that I'm actually mad. Some have called me stupid. Some have told me all sorts of name calling, that there is no difference between ụmụaka and ụmụazi. Their assertion is that it is different tones of different dialects. Some boldly said that you are crazy, that it is actually different dialect, that ụmụaka and ụmụazi is Olundi. But I'm not angry. If you check, I did not respond to the comment. Reason is this: instead of me to respond to the comment, let him come and learn the teaching. Now, what is ụmụaka? What is ụmụazi? It will now take us back to the indigenous knowledge of that the Igbos know that we walk in 4 age phases. I repeat, our ancestors are very good in their cosmological knowledge. The word cosmology is the study of the cosmos, the celestial sphere. Anyanwụ, ọnwa, kpakpando, ikuku, ife niile nke dị na-enye ihe nke na-enye ihe. Our ancestors understood these things. And they understand that these planetary luminaries determines what is happening in our life. If the sun is high, it is known to give like this. If the moon is like this, it is known to do like this. If the star is like this, it is giving influences even in our temperament and behavior. So they classified our ages into 4. The first one, they called it ụmụaka. You can be writing down for those who don't know it already. It is called the first phase, the first age phase in our cosmological study is what we call ụmụaka. Sometimes we don't know the root word. Okay, and somebody saying that my English is higher to our understanding. I will bring it down. I'll try to communicate in a layman language, okay? If possible, I could even use broken. My job is to make you understand. Now, when you hear me using the word cosmology, I dey try tell you, say, I dey talk of the sun where they give light by the day, the moon where they shine for night, and the stars, the small beautification you see that is even higher. Okay? All those things that beautify the earth at night, they beautify the sky at night, is what we call cosmology. Cosmos. So when you hear me say celestial, I am talking of what is in the sky. So when you hear me talking about our ancestors understand their cosmology, I am trying to say they understand the planets, the stars, the moon, the sun, and every other luminaries, the air we breathe. So what they mean say, they say, if you understand these things, it will help you understand what they share for your life. Oh yeah, what if now, our ancestors understood, say, this celestial body, the sun, the moon, the star, that it comes in age variation. Sometimes it go change, it go give us like this. And if it change, the kind people where they born by that time, they different. I mean, they make video, they tell us, say, all of us not be the same people. People when they born 4,000 years ago, not be the same people where they born now. And that is the concept of the teaching I'm about to make today. Broken English no good for my mouth, and I know well. So what is ụmụaka? Ụmụaka is the first age classification we have in our Igbo understanding. Ụmụaka. I told you they are 4 in number. Number 1, ụmụaka. Number 2, ụmụachi. Number 3, ụmụanwụ. Number 4, ụmụazi. I repeat, Number 1, ụmụaka. Number 2, ụmụachi. Number 3, ụmụanwụ. Number 4, ụmụazi. People born within ụmụaka age phase. How does this age phase last? This age phase lasts in our own Igbo understanding. Each age phase lasts for 4,000 years. I repeat, each age phase lasts for 4,000 years. So after 4,000 years, we leave ụmụaka and enter ụmụachi. Are you getting my point? Then ụmụachi lasts for 3,000 years. After ụmụachi, we enter to the third phase, ụmụanwụ, which lasts for 2,000 years. After ụmụanwụ, we enter to ụmụazi, which lasts for 1,000 years, and the cycle begins again. This is as it is in the Igbo cosmology. So, in ụmụaka, we know that ụmụaka is 4 times lasting longer. When we go down from ụmụaka to ụmụachi, it becomes 3 times lasting. ụmụanwụ 2 times long lasting, and the ụmụazi 1 time. So multiply it by 1,000, you understand what I mean. If ụmụaka will last 4,000 years, ụmụachi should last 3,000 years. Am I making sense? ụmụanwụ will last 2,000 years and ụmụazi will last 1,000 years. Then what is ụmụaka? Open your ear. In our understanding, you hear people saying, hey, nda afugo star nwa, ha afugo your star. They are using the word star as a literal statement to mean they have seen what you are to be. They've seen what you are to be. But the way it is used is actually to mean when you are in ụmụaka, we are not human beings as at then. I repeat, ụmụaka, we are not human beings as at then. We are still energies. Anyị ka bụ kpakpando na-enye ife n'ụwa. The purity of our consciousness is pure because we've not assumed the human body. We are still in the other astral plane. Astral plane bụ ife ndị Igbo na-akpọ na mmadụ nọ n'ijite. So as at the time of the ụmụaka, we are not yet in the human body. Anyị abụbero mmadụ, anyị ka bụ ihe na-enye ihe. We are likened to be energies. We are stars illuminating the sky. That's why you have billions of stars in the sky. Then we transit to another age phase when humans begin to gain consciousness of the flesh. We leave our dome of consciousness. Where better from ụmụaka to ụmụachi. When we begin to enter ụmụachi, the vibration begins to form into compiled vibration to become an embodiment of ụmụazi. Okay? We begin to become an embodiment of ụmụazi. We transit from energy, consciousness into human. Picture it this way. We were a vessel. We were an oil without a vessel. At Ogaka. You just look at this way now. This is sachet water. Why this sachet water took this shape is because I've added the water into a sachet. And this sachet has given it the shape. So see that water as when we were in Ogaka. The sea is like Ogaka, formless. It does not have any shape. It takes the shape of the ocean, the sea, really, no form. But it's an energy. Then we transited into Ogachi when the consciousness entered into a vessel. But this point in time, we are in alignment with our chi. There is no evil. There is no crime in the society. This is in the ancient time whereby you can keep things and come back. When we were in Ogachi, people that lived in Ogachi lived longer. They lived hundreds of years. Nothing to call sin or aloe. Everybody is concerned about purity. Then we entered into another phase. The third phase, Ogang, the age of enlightenment. When I too know begin enter our brain. In that age of enlightenment, we begin to question things. We begin to challenge some norms and abnorms. But the only difference is that in this new phase, our lifespan was reduced. In this new age, we begin to manipulate energy. We begin to become dibias. We begin to do telepathy. We begin to do several astral traveling. From in the age of Ogamu, we begin to communicate with our higher dimension. To communicate with the pineal gland, the third eye, the eye within the brain. This is to connect with the frequency of the Most High. But on one condition, we can't live long. We begin to create technological advancements because our vibration and consciousness are now being into limelight. That is the third phase, Ogang, the age of enlightenment. Then there is another age, the last phase, which is called Ogazi. This is the age of wickedness, crime, evil, pestilence. Ogazi is the last phase. Crime, evil, pestilence, wickedness, manipulation, envy, hatred. Everybody knows Okaka. Everybody is competing to be the best in evil ways, not in a good way. onye ọbụla ji ajọ obi na-azụ ụwa, igbu mmadụ is on a rise. When the Oga completes, we recycle and come back again. But the way it happens is this: when we get from Ogaka to Ogachi, we transit from Ogachi to Ogangu. Then from Ogangu, we go down to Ogazi. Then we from Ogazi come back to Ogangu. From Ogangu, we go back to Ogachi. From Ogachi, we transcend to Ogaka. So not when we go to Ogazi, we return to Ogaka. No. We will go like this chronologically from top to bottom, then from bottom to top, from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Now picture it this way. In Ogaka, the children born within Ogaka are called ụmụaka. That is why we picked this in our normal balance in Igbo land. We refer them to ụmụaka because as at that time, there is purity in their hearts. No hate, no energy, divine consciousness. Iwolu biscuit nye nwatakịrị. Saya kasi anyegi onyekwege ọzọ. No hate, no greed, nothing. Flawless. No knowledge of stigmatization. No class, no race. Everybody is uniform. We refer to the children born during the Ogaka era as ụmụaka. Now, children born during the Ogachi era as ụmụchi. Children born within the Ogangu area, ụmụanwụ, the children of enlightenment. Ụmụchi, the children of consciousness. Ụmụaka, the children of vibration, the children of energy. Then the last phase, ụmụazi, ụmụaka amụrụ n'Ogazi, ụmụazi, children born in the time of wickedness, theft, crime, competition, social vices, latchkeys and delinquencies. Ogaka, Ogachi, Ogangu, Ogazi, ụmụaka, ụmụchi, ụmụanwụ, ụmụazi. So when we give birth to our children, we begin to profess on their head, you are connected to the celestial sphere. Oga is age or face. I repeat, Oga is age or face. Era. An era is Oga. So when we call on ụmụaka, you are chanting and calling on the children of purity to befall them. If you are just joining, don't ask question. You can go and see the video on YouTube or Facebook for those on TikTok. When I'm done, the video is already there on YouTube and Facebook. In ụmụaka, you are like making a declaration that sorry, let me fix my microphone. That will be flawless, just like in the age of energy. When there is no competition or wickedness on earth. Ụmụaka. ụmụaka. Now, when a child becomes stubborn, our ancestors refer them as ụmụazi, meaning children that the astral plane they came from is actually, listen, is actually from the time of wickedness. Now, when I was researching further, I noticed that now this phase is recycling itself. Depending on the astral plane you dive into before conception, you can actually tune into the frequency. They will send you a child from ụmụaka. If you tune into the wrong frequency, they will send you children from ụmụazi. Ụmụaka, ụmụachi, ụmụanwụ, ụmụazi. Ụmụaka, when we are energies, we are not yet humans. We are in the celestial sphere. Anyị bụ ụmụnta na-adịghị ike. Energies ka anyị bụ mgbe a. Anyị bụ ife na-enye ife. That was when we are in ụmụaka. Ụmụachi, when humans is no longer energy but now humans. Remember, when you have a baby, when you are pregnant, you conceive, it will take 40 days for that child to have the first pulse. That is when the ụmụachi transmitted from ụmụaka into the body. And that is when they will assign who will reincarnate and come through that channel. From ụmụaka, we enter into ụmụachi. In ụmụachi, we are in tune with the Creator. Everything we want to achieve is purity, undefiled reference, undefiled purity, undefiled nature, no competition, no wickedness, just purity. Because we are coming from the dome of consciousness into the new body. 3,000 years passes, we enter into a new phase. Ogango. We've lived in the body for so long, we now want to explore. We are no longer comfortable being so honest. We now to be small bad children. Because we've known so well, we've understood the energy. We can levitate. We can telepathy. We can transport in astral plane, teleportation. We are now Dibyas. Our enlightenment is so awakened that we can even challenge nature. Ogang, age of enlightenment. But it comes with a price. We've defiled our mouth with unclean things. Hence, it has now reduced our age bracket. Ogang. The difference between ụmụachi and ụmụanwụ is that those in ụmụachi lived longer and they are flawless. But those in ụmụanwụ are also enlightened, but they are not flawless. They have flaw. Hence, they will not live longer. Their age bracket is reduced. Then the final phase, ụmụazi. When everybody is under competition, when lying is the order of the day, when killing is the new role model, when evil and crime is the merchandise of the day, the fourth phase of our age cosmology, ụmụazi. Ụmụaka niile amụrụ n'ụmụazi ka anyị na-akpọ ụmụazi. Do you now begin to understand why I said in the video that if you call your children ụmụazi, You are actually casting a spell on them that will make them to begin to live like beasts. Many people countered me and said, Mas, it is just different dialect. No, if you tell me that ụmụaka and ụmụntakịrị is the same thing but in different tone, I will tell you yes. But telling me that ụmụaka and ụmụazi is the same thing can never be the same. Ịmụta ụmụaka ị ama. Ụmụanwụ, that is what we call children born in Ogang. The age of enlightenment, but their lifespan is cut short because we are now defiled. The body is no longer as it is in the days of Ogachi. So there is a little bit corruption in Ogangu. But when you get to Ogazi, corruption have graduated. Corruption is now sitting for WAEC. Corruption is now in the university. That is Ogang. Corruption is now at the climax. And thank you for this, Neka. Now, Igbo people have this derogatory exclamation. Listen to this. Azebakwa. Azebakwa. I've told you, every statement you hear in Igbo language has a spiritual connotation. Just that we don't know the knowledge to decode. Have you now understood why we use the word Azebakwa? May we not witness this evil. Azebakwa. Azebatekwahaka. Azebakwa. Because it is so bad to witness the age of Ogazi. Kidnapping, bloodshed, competition. Crime, murder. That is the testament of Ogazi. So when you give birth to a child and your chi gave you umma, and you use your mouth and you are casting a spell from childhood, ụmụazia, 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 you are actually drawing energies from the fourth phase of destruction upon these children. And after all this knowledge, you tell me that my ancestors were not wise. Even in our language, they know the power of words. Noma, welcome, Iroma. They know that word is like a spell. That everything we say manifests. Words are energy. They refrain from calling us ụmụazi because Azibakwa, they don't want Azi to come near us. Please permit me to go and turn on the inverter. I don't know what did a power bridge. Can I go and turn on the inverter so I can come back and teach? You can see I'm sweating. Can I take 2 minutes to turn on the inverter and come back so I will have power supply? I no longer have power. Please, I'm asking for the audience to permit me to go down and turn. I'm coming back. Let me turn on the inverter. I'm sweating. Okay, thank you so much, and apologies for the delay in transmission, the break in transmission. Okay, and I can see that many people engage themselves in conversation on chat, which is a welcome development. I can see so many good comments, those that are saying they are learning. Like I said, I am not here to be famous, but I'm only here to give my little contribution to this planet before my time will be taken. So now, in the foundation of our teaching today, we begin to really inspect the age concepts, the age phases. Now, let me recap before I ask questions. I told you that in ụmụaka, we are not yet humans. Igbo people will tell you that Nonya Folostamo. Okay? Onya Folostamo, meaning before you are yet to be conceived. Some people are very good in celestial manipulation, astrological projections, and they've seen you before you even became into Ukachi. Understand my point now? So they've seen what you would be. Nyakandiba and I say, off go style. They are talking about destiny. Off go ife yago. Ejili no to binuo koge. So, everybody that came in the age of Ogaka, we consider them ụmụaka. Because of the purity of the heart, they have nothing like wickedness, just like we have today. They have nothing like envy, just like we have. But in Ogaka, we are not yet humans. We are only energy. Our energies might be flowing around the sun, the water body, the earth, or even the air. Remember when I was teaching about element, I said that people are not always from the water. That there are 4 phases of manifestation. Miri, ikuku, adana, noku. Some of us come from the luminaries. Some come from the earth crust. Some come from the water body. Some come from the air. The emptiness of the cosmos. So, but before we manifested, we were energies in these 4 distinct states. Before we became human, we transited from ụmụaka and we entered into Ogachi. Now, in Ogachi, we are now human. But in Ogachi, we are always conscious of what we make our maker angry. We want to be good. We want to be righteous. We want to be pure. No envy, no hate. We lived in Ogachi. We transited from Ogachi, entered another phase, Ogangu, when people have been enlightened. We now know how to manipulate energies and frequencies, how to teleport, okay? How to be a dibia, how to be witch, how to be wizard, how to do technology, how to invent. We now said, okay, we are now equal to the maker. After all, we have created things ourselves, not knowing that this consciousness of us thinking that we do know is taking us to the last phase, ụmụazi, filled with bitterness, hatred, envy, competition, ignorance. One of the significance of ụmụazi is everything in ụmụazi is ignorance of what was achieved in Ogawa and beyond. In ụmụazi, we don't want to know the ancient time, what happened. We are comfortable in smartphones. We are busy getting likes, views, even if it means selling our nudity. Ụmụazi is like an age of ignorance and madness, crime and wickedness. It is the age of death. Okay? At this point in time, all this is lingering in these 4 phases. But we are somehow lucky. Listen to this. We are somehow lucky. Ụmụaka last in 4 folds. So 4,000 years. Imagine it that way. Ogachi in 3 folds, 3,000 years. Ogamu in 2 folds, 2,000 years. Ụmụazi, we are lucky that ụmụazi did not last long, 1,000 years. Now my question now becomes, from this simple analogy, which of the age phase, which of the Oga do you think we are in? I'm asking the general audience. With this simple analogy, which of the Oga do you think that we fall in now? I will bring Obiora and the storyteller. I also want to hear from Nwachina Abarogo. Which of the Oga do you think we are in? Then on Facebook, I want to also hear from some people. Comment, which of the Oga do you think we are in? Oga is UGA, not OGA. We are not in Ogazi, we are in Ụmụazi. But by virtue of Olilu Daume, 1A can be swallowed. Or if you must write it because Oga is a definite statement, you use Oga dash, then AZI. So this is me asking open questions. Let me start from, they say ladies first. African storyteller, what's your take? In which of the Oga do we fall in now?
From my own observation, I think we're in ụmụazi.
Okay.
Because of what's happening around the world.
Hold on. A person from TikTok says, from her own observation, she believes that we are now in ụmụazi. Okay. 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 Obiora, what's your take? Which of the Oga do you think we are in at this point?
Okay, the teaching makes sense. I think we're in ụmụazi now. And from your teaching, it makes sense because well, if we come down from ụmụaka to Ogachi to Ogamu to ụmụazi, we're going back up now. So after 1,000, we'll do ụmụazi, then Ogamu. So I think it makes sense. We're in ụmụazi now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Jidofo, were you there when we started the teaching? Watching Aborogo. Did you
join? I'm not here from the beginning, but I picked some things.
Okay. Okay.
And maybe the random knows I was just coming back from work, so when you went back, I said, okay, go far, but I will catch up, man, no problem.
Thank you. Somebody's asking, how often do I hold live stream? I hold live stream at least once every day. at least once every day. It's not easy, but I'm trying now. I have a whole lot in my head, but I'm trying. Because I see Facebook is saying that we are in Ogazi. Some people are saying that we are in Ogamu. TikTok is insisting that we are in Ogazi. What of YouTube? YouTube, what's your take? Are we in Ogamu or in Ogazi? Or in Ogachi? It's obvious we are not in Ogachi because we are no longer pure. Now, is any of you can access old material in the page. You cannot be in Ogachi now.
My mind.
African storyteller, what do you say?
I was going to change my mind.
See, hold on, no. Before you comment, listen to this now. You know, when I made the video and said viewers all over the world, Igbos all over the world, do you know that when you call your children ụmụaka or ụmụazi, I don't know how I made that video. Many people who saw that video will be like, this young man with a grace. Many people commented and told me that I decrease. Mind you, Ogamu contains crime, but not as big as in the days of Ogas. In Ogas, everybody hand is soaked in blood, evil and crime. No room for kindness. Now, many people commented and said that ụmụaka and ụmụazi are the same thing, that I should just go and shut up. The last thing I will do is to engage an amateur. In Igbo, we call them ofeke. To engage an ofeke is to release so much energy with futility, because the person's consciousness is not even vibrating to magnet new energy, new knowledge. As I speak to you, somebody had the effrontery. He claimed to be a minister. Last night, he even told me plainly in my comment section that there is nothing like understanding and overstanding in English language. I don't know if any of you have come across that video where I said that the problem with Africa is that we only understand. We don't understand, so we can overstand. Have you seen that video?
Yes, we have.
I did not talk so much. What I did was to use ordinary Google dictionary and screenshotted the English word understanding and overstanding, and I tagged him. This is my problem. When you have half-baked knowledge, you are ranting instead of you to subject yourself under mentorship. So, funny enough, he never knew that there is an English word like understanding, let alone overstanding. In all your books you've read in school, they are busy telling you understand, understand. But when you understand something, it is shallow. Look at under now. Under. They go to under. When you understand this thing, what do you know? But when you understand it, you are no longer asking, is this a router? You want to know the modus operandi, the working principles of this router. That is understanding. That is the word mahadum. Malohadum. When you dig deeper, after understanding, you now overstand. You are now an authority. Nobody can manipulate you with that knowledge again. You've understood, and you now overstand. When they brought religion, they gave us the understanding of it. Our consciousness was limited to understanding. But when you dig deeper, someone is telling you, now Jesus is giving you concept for you to research on your own so that you can understand the then from there you overstand. There is nothing I do on earth with understanding. Understanding is not for me. For any subject matter, I will dig deep to understand. That is acquaintanceship. Go deeper and I understand. Once I understand it, you see me talking with confidence. When I told you people that Yahweh will have fallacy, many people who have understanding of Yahweh was ranting until I begin to point out evidence for understanding. Those that are enlightened took the understanding beyond and they understood what I was expressing. Some of them have understood now that all this thing is a created scam. How can you use a deity to dispose a deity? You hated Ekwensu, which is the same thing with Yahweh. You throw away Ekwensu and embrace Yahweh. And they are using words to cast spell on you. Listen to this. Spelling. Spelling. Spell the word. Spell the word. Do you know the spelling of meaning for every word you hear? Meaning for every word there is a force that comes with it. There is an energy, there is traction. They brought education to us. But we don't know that we don't need the education, we need knowledge. We are busy seeking for education. They cabbaged it 6334 system. And left knowledge, which is self-awareness of who am I first. And I've told you people, if you don't understand the concept of origin, everything you hear is a lie. So now I'm asking you a question. We cannot be in Ogaka now because we are no longer energies. Our energy has been transmuted to a new vessel inside our mother's belly, conceived for 9 months and bathed to the earth. The earth quivered, shook with our cry. The nurse was shouting, push. No dogu na apota. Ana mo akataka odogu, nurse cannot shout push. Nurse will be busy shouting fire. Now we are now in the age of what? Our consciousness have transited to enlightenment. And in this enlightenment, there is tendency of us to do evil. Now, a world where wickedness thrives, where nations are rising against nations. Now I bring to you this knowledge, and I said, Ogaka to Ogachi, Ogachi to Ogangu, Ogangu to Ugazi. Which of these phases are we in? African storyteller, you can unmute and speak to me now. Because I heard you saying you change your mind.
I was going to change it. Ogamu, because yes, we seem to be in Ogazi, but we seem to be moving towards Ogamu. So that's where my confusion is. I seem to be going backwards and forwards. I can't decide.
Okay, somebody in...
All of us here on this panel, for example, and we seem to be in the Amu stage.
Okay.
Ourselves.
So to you now, we are in Ogamu, right?
That's what I think.
An audience from TikTok says she believes that we are in Ogango. Okay. Now, Facebook. What phase are we in? Which of the Oga are we in now? If I say Oga, you've understood that Oga means an age phase, an age time frame, a phase duration. Facebook, I'm asking. YouTube, which of the phase are we in now? We cannot be era. Thank you for that. In which of the era are we in now? We cannot be in two eras at the same time. Now, okay, somebody said that she is correct. Kali White said that we are in a Miss Yoga. When I don't miss yoga like soup, or I get mobile or not in here, you see. Feli obele and salad. No. Please, before I will give my humble opinion, can you comment where you are watching from and if the teaching is actually impacting or making sense to you? Comment your location. Comment your location. Don't just write Italy. I want to know the city you are in Italy, so that if I'm coming, I know that I will not pay for hotel in that place. Don't write Sweden. Tell me the city. Where in Benue? Include the place you are watching me from. Where in Sokoto? Christian George, you are watching from Lagos and the teaching is top notch. Yes, now I don't have to come to any country and pay for hotel. I am so blessed that I can never go to any country and pay for hotel. Once I'm coming, I'll just announce viewers all over the world. I am going to Italy. Who will host me? You see people say, Maz, I want you to be in my house. Oh, Chiminyal Mobro Fortum. Oka. Owerri in Imo State. You are not in Port Harcourt, you are in Iguacha. We must correct that one. Whitbury, Minnesota. Oh, Edinburgh, Scotland. Yaounde, Cameroon. Oh, Abu Dhabi, UAE. Oka in Anambra. Monkey Village in Lagos. Umuchi, Mafuto. Amward of it. I saw somebody from Sweden. Maputo. Wow. Maputo is in which country again? Is it Gambia? Mozambique. Akunachimo. Nana, I remember. Akunachimo, I agree to. Yes. Now Mozambique people, they greet person Akunachimo. I wonder how it would be to Nigerians the first day they got to Mozambique. And someone, if you are an Igbo person and you go to Mozambique, and somebody is greeting you, Akunachimo. Akunachimo means a prostitute with a child in our language. But it means greeting in Mozambique. So even though you in Mozambique, he's not insulting you, he's actually greeting you before you go and fight. Le Mans in France, Istanbul in Turkey. Now, okay, enough of the comments. Let me now tell you what I meant. When you quote, we are energies. I've told you people, if you ever looked at a microscope, your understanding of life will change. Okay? And for those asking me what they can buy for us, when we build our school, because I told you people, I am not here to be teaching only making noise. Give me from now to 5 years, I will have a creative thinking tank, a research institute and technological advancement center. Nanibo. We will have it. My irreplaceable, I've missed you, my darling. It's been ages. Wow. Now, when we have our own schools, just listen to this now. Pick up a glass of water. Bring 1 ml of water and put it in a glass, a plain glass. Watch it with a microscope. What you will see, you will begin to have a different perspective of life. You will see energies. When I tell you that all of us are energies in motion, you begin to understand. Or if you watch a cell that is about to die under a microscope, you will see how the ether will leave the cell and transmute to another astral plane. Then you begin to understand the concept of life. Watching from Malaysia, Terima kasih, I greet you. Sama sama. Now, when we begin to empirically inquire all these things, when you look at a leaf, a mango leaf, put it under microscope and see how, when they tell you that chlorophyll is a tiny opening, you begin to see chlorophyll, how the opening is. You now tilt and magnify the microscope. You begin to see the energies moving inside that akoko iji. You now begin to ask yourself, what are we? Now the teaching I made about elements will begin to make sense. That we are all energies under vibration. When you now look at your palm with a microscope, you begin to ask yourself, who am I? Then my teaching I made on the difference of mado, mankendo, and mankong. You begin to understand why we call them Mong. Facebook, thank you for removing the teaching I made on Mong. It is so disheartening that that wonderful teaching I made has been deleted out of wickedness. That I'm teaching the essence of our metaphysical knowledge, and you have the mind to delete the teaching. That is why I opted for YouTube, where my teaching can be safer, until when Africa will have. If you repost a video, I told you I cannot be doing all these things. I am looking for volunteers. If I see honest volunteers, I will share my password with this team that I'm recruiting. So that if I'm done teaching, you will be the one to download the video and save it. Me, I will crack my brain, bring the knowledge, teach, download, edit, haba. One person, I know it. Now, we are no longer energies, we've become human beings. So, take away Ogaka from the consideration. But the knowledge of Ogaka is that it is filled with purity and 100% alignment with the will of the Almighty. We are living under the supreme consciousness of Chukwu. In Ogaka, we are still energies. Igbo spirituality is science. For people saying it's like you sometimes mix science with Igbo. You cannot understand Igbo spirituality without science. Everything our ancestors did was pure empirical sciences. Just that we don't have the ability to decode them. As a scientist, I know better. Sometimes when I was studying empirical analysis on chemistry, fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, okay, heat transfer, I begin to tell myself our ancestors are actually so knowledgeable. And for those saying I should be teaching only in Igbo, I can tell you that I have many Fulani fans. I have many Hausa fans. That a person is from a group does not mean the person behaves like the person. So you will cancel Ogaka from the thought. We are no longer in Ogaka. Even though at the end of the time, when we are done existing here, we transit and enter Ogaka again, waiting for the proper time of reincarnation to come into Ogachi or Ogazi or Ogang. What am I trying to say? We must first of all appreciate the fact that a new knowledge is knocking on our door. Now, there was a day I was teaching you people how the Indians learned spirituality from us. I said it, many people got to my comment section due to ignorance and half-baked knowledge. They were like, how can I say the Igbos taught the Indians? I did not talk. I only mentioned one point. Look at the Igbo report. Ada baby is belong. Look at the Igbo report. The inscriptions on the Igbo report is the same inscription the Indians call Sanskrit. Thank you. Now, when I see Sanskrit in, I've been telling you people, Abichi did not be Igbo. I've been saying it many times. So many people are threatening me to stop saying this. Abichi did not be Igbo. Now, our ancestors understood that we can also communicate with our Ogaka. Listen to this one. If you understand yourself, a knowledge of oneself, you can always communicate with your Ogaka. You can raise your consciousness to be able to communicate with your Ogaka because they left a portal in your body through which you can communicate with your Ogaka. How? Your pineal gland. That is when you begin to understand the difference between Okumwa and Okuagu. Mazi, you are going far. If you check my teaching on Facebook, there is a post I made the other day. That Abu, the dome of Abu is the pineal gland. Okuagu is in the pineal gland. Where cosmic radiations and frequencies are gathered. That's why when you sleep, you begin to see yourself transiting from one astral plane. You wake up in the morning, you tell me you had a dream. Your consciousness is walking. In your dream, in a Sieva, Lagos, whereas you are in Oka, you are teleporting, whereas you are in the same place. Optical illusion. Our ancestors also have the concept of Eto, Akokwanato, Ezikenga, Nifite. The Trinity consciousness of vibration. Now, within this Trinity, I told you if we are to, that will be in the day I will be teaching of Ago. I will explain the Trinity of Ago, the Trinity inside Trinity. Having the mindset of Odiobala, we can now begin to inspect Ogeriatloba, the consciousness for creativity. Eman Alpha, the Alpha language, is the most ancient language on earth. Okay? The Alpha language is the most complete language that experiences all things. We have Ntonto, Tonto 3 into 3. In the Trinity of Akukunato, Ezikenganifite, which is in every Igbo land. That is why to strike balance Remember this teaching I made. To strike balance, we must involve the akwụkwanaatọ. See it. This is a triangle. We must invite the akwụkwanaatọ to come into play. Never. The akwụkwanaatọ must come into play. Ezi, Ikenga, and Ivite. That is why your pot have 3 legs and not 4. That is why the seat we use in the shrine have 3 legs and not 4. Because the 3 symbolizes more balance. Your seat have 3 legs. Akwụkwanaatọ, the greatest of all greatest of balance. 3-dimensional plane. Without the understanding of this, you will begin to see spirituality, omenani Igbo, as folklore, whereas it is basic science. Chinonya Sonye, you want me to bring you up? Okay, just don't interrupt me till I'm done, please. I'll bring you up. Now, going further, we must begin to dig deeper as Igbos, to search deeper the ancient works of our ancestors. As Igbos, as Yorubas, as Igala, as Africans, as black folks, those ancient knowledge which is left in Timbuktu, University of Sankore, which is left in Moorish University of Cordoba, which is left in the ancient University of Kemet, bringing excavators in Igbo land, archaeologists that exhume the earth, and I will show you civilization that has been 100,000 years under Igbo land. You see that pyramid you are seeing in Udi? That is not the size of that pyramid. We should go and dig that pyramid. The problem is that we are not open for research. We have another pyramid in Idu, the land you presently call Benin. Go and dig that pyramid. If ledger has been smelting iron as far back as 3000 BC, and you have the mind to tell me we came from Israel, you dey mad. I was reading the ancient tablet of Gilgamesh from Sumeria, and I saw the contributions of our ancestors in Sumeria. The Egyptians gave us credit for our contribution. Catherine Acholonu lived all her life trying to show you people that we existed before Adam. And you are telling me that your ancestor is Abraham. But that is not my teaching today. My teaching today is we have Ogaka, Ogachi, Oganwu, and Ogazi. 4 phases, 4H era. Ogachi, we've become body, we've transited from Ogaka into Ogachi. Oganwu, we are more enlightened but shorter lifespan, mixed with energy and goodness. Wickedness and goodness intertwined. Oganwu. Ogazi, abstract and the total wickedness. No mercy. And I ask you people, which of the Oga do we fall into? Chinonya Sonya, do you want to ask me a question before I continue?
Not really. I was just listening to what you are saying, and I'm impressed. So I decided to come in so I can chip in some certain things.
Okay, hold on. When I'm done making the foundation, you can make your contribution.
It's like chipping in. We take off from the particular topic you're supposed to do.
Hold on, we welcome that. Just hold on. When we are done with the subject matter, we can diversify. Now, going further, I've also mentioned one of the ancient tribes in Africa that is very rare to find. I told you the name of that tribe. I told you, are you familiar with the Andaman tribe of Africa? From them they got the word Adam. The Andaman tribe, they are presently in existence. You can pick your phone and check. Andaman, Andaman. They are now, where they are now, they are in Ross Island in India. Open your ear. And as I speak to you, United Nations has banned that place. You don't go that place. The Andaman tribe. What of the Kalawari tribe? Now, I was giving you evidences how the Indians were our students. Because evidently, as at the days of Kemet, Moorish University of Cordoba, University of Ghana, ancient Ghana Empire, and the University of, what is it called? Timbuktu, ancient Maliki Empire, you will see traces of our ancestors. Now, when they assumed the Bukuro port, they sourced ancient writings which we wrote, just like hieroglyphs. They made sure that they destroyed the CBD, so that even though we discover ancient texts, we cannot decipher what is written inside. And nobody is talking about revitalizing the teaching of CBD. If you assume ancient texts, you can't read. The only people that can read in CBD now is our Efik brothers. Some of them can still read in CBD. Those ancient people that we are in the cult of knowledge. Efiki Bibio. If you go to Abreba, there are some Ngwa people in that axis, Abreba Ngwa, that can still read ancient CBD. Esio tried, saw that the knowledge is going. He converted Igbo into this new ABCD in 1947. My vision is that Mazi Dibia Foundation will reenact a school to start teaching in CBD. So that if we start excavation and we dig up an ancient text, we can be able to read and see what was hidden from us. Some of you will go to church, give 10 million naira as tithes, but you are not funding any research for the awakening of your people. And I ask again, which of the age era are we in? Count off Ogaka. We cannot be in Ogaka. We are now humans. So start from Ogachi. It's obvious we are not in Ogachi. None of us can live up to 200 years. So count off Ogachi. So in between Ogamu and Ogazi, let me make your answer smaller for you. Are we in Ogaka or in Ogazi? Sorry, are we in Ogamu or in Ogazi? That is when you begin to understand. China, meet your background. There is a noise there. That is when you begin to understand that by calling your children ụmụaka, you are actually bringing blessing upon them. You are actually bringing purity upon their consciousness. But when you begin to label them ụmụazi, they are becoming violent. Let me say this, which is not good for me to say, but this is a teaching class. If you go to Ayamelum local government, in that suburb of Omobala, I always hear them referring their kids to ụmụazi. If you go to Ayamelum local government, on Ayamelum never indicate if I'm lying. They are fond of referring their kids to ụmụazi. then what happens? If you call them ụmụaka, it is good. Call them ụmụntakịrị, it is good. Some Igbos have the words like ụmụntị, it is fine. But ụmụazi is a no-no. Ụmụarị, if you talk about it, anako, omo, ụmụarị, exactly. Because there is always aru there. Ụmụarị. We've seen the impact of Azi. That's why the ancient one used it as an exclamation against evil. Azi Bakwa. Azi Bakwa. Forbidding Azi never to come in our time. This is breadcrumbs of information. But nobody have the consciousness to gather it together. Azi Bakwa. An exclamation forbidding evil. May we not see or witness the age of evil. Ogas, Azibakwa, Azibatekwa in our own time. Some of the things I say, honestly, I don't even know where I get them. To be honest, once I sleep and wake up, my dictionary will be loaded. And I'll be like, okay, we go again today. If our ancestors can really forbid the age of Azi with a definite statement as a Bakwa, how then do we address our children as ụmụazi, laying a cause of negativity on them? Now, for the final question, up never. Can everybody comment which of these energies are we now operating from? Now, how many of you are familiar with this statement? 21st of November 2012. 21st of November 2012. We entered into a new phase. Listen, in your Bible, there is a portion of your Bible in Deuteronomy that says, thou must not practice astronomy. Thou must not practice astronomy. Without astronomy, we cannot know beyond what we know today. Metaphysics and science will not know. They told us we should not practice astronomy, but they are the one trying to go to the moon. They gave Africans a Bible in which it is said, do not practice astronomy. Exodus 22:18, do not practice witchcraft, even suffer not a witch to live. The communication we have with our ancestors, necromancy, they told us it's an occultic practice, it's an evil practice, not even occultic, evil. But they are busy. There are some things I don't want to say on camera. Some things I have in my collection. The CIA and the FBI, my friends shared with me a deep knowledge of how they are transponding from our indigenous divination system to learn how to teleport. Ikiri ay na abo, imo ikiri. As I speak to you, I go see a. So in November 21, 2012, we we changed and entered into a new age, the age of Aquarius. In the age of Aquarius, in Igbo cosmology, it means the age of enlightenment, Ogangu. But Ogangu must mature before it begins to work. So it will come in 7 years. From November 2012 to November 2019, Ogangu matured 7 years. And a significant revolt happened in the whole world. You know, for revolution to come, it must trigger some vices that will make people to start asking questions. November 2019, coronavirus knocked on the door. And Africans, we are opened from the shackles of coverage of blindness to a new enlightenment to begin to ask questions. The white people, we are ready to wait for this age. They are already waiting because they know it will happen. They started putting things in place to put us in check. Prior to the age of Aquarius, they gave us Ebola virus. Prior to the Ogangu, hey. So somebody asked, what evidence do we have that they know? Even before the date of Ogangu, they've announced it weeks, months before, that the celestial sphere is transiting to a new age, the age of Aquarius. Before Ebola, they brought in missionaries who claimed that they are coming for immunization, and they injected AIDS into our body. We began testing positive to AIDS. Our body system grew immune to that. We did not perish. They went back and regenerated themselves again and brought another one, Ebola virus. President Ellen Sirleaf, the first female president in Africa, and her country and neighboring country, suffered so much from the Ebola. Our gene is highly recessive. We can dominate anything that comes. Our antibody is highly recessive. If we conquered them again. We've been chopping ewi for those that eat ewi or satinchi, okay? But they introduced lesser virus and told us no, okay, close. We conquered Lassa virus, Lassa fever. They re-energized HIV and HBV, modified it into acquired immune deficiency syndrome. They brought severe acute respiratory syndrome. We said no, we will not die. Our gene captured it, became immune to it. And the ether in our body is regenerating itself. Now, we are now living in the age of awakening, mixed with light and darkness, goodwill and badwill, positive and negative energy, transiting from the days of destruction, colonial invasion and wickedness, thriving, sucking us in the name of religion, vandalism, in the name of inquisition and the whipping post. Days where a man is made to choose between his ancestors and a stranger, else you lose your life. We suffered these greater heights. Days where nations rose and their only project is to come into Africa to take everything that will sustain them before the age of Aquarius. We opened our arms to them, welcomed them into our land in the ancient time, raised their consciousness, taught them knowledge and principles, taught them the transmutation of matter, the alchemy of the soul. We gave them empirical knowledge of our cosmos. And what did they give us in return? They digested our teachings, came back and destroyed that which we called holy, desecrated our ancestors, and took up all our indigenous practices, modified it, and made it a derogatory in the ears of the children to come. We begin to read meanings like the Egyptians you see today. We shall see them no more. They begin to include in their Bibles that the Almighty God of the Bible uses the head of Ethiopians as a restitution for evil, not knowing that Ethiopia was a holy land, not knowing that Egypt was a holy land. They made us hate our ancestors by teaching us of ancestral curse. They made us worship their own ancestors. They took away our names that command respect, a name that resonates with the sands of time, a name that speaks freedom, a name that is distinct, a spiritual and holy name, and gave us slave masters' name: John, Peter, Paul, Barnabas, Silas, Andrew, Thomas, Mary, Martha. They corrupted our spirituality, took away our holy deities and ancient pantheons, called them idols. They did not destroy them, rather they made us believe they've destroyed them. They put it in ships and sailed it to their motherland. They convinced us to forget about Agu and believe in God, the author and finisher of our faith. They destroyed our principle system and introduced faith into our mouth. They took away facts and figures and give us faith, conviction, and belief. They made us hate our father. They made us hate our mother. They rewrote our story and gave us his story. They removed our name from inventions, removed our name from patents, and gave credit to them. Every ancient achievement made by our ancestors, they wrote their name on it. They made us hate ourselves with a strategy called divide and conquer, whereby in a family of 5, the mother is a Catholic, the father is an Anglican, the first son is a Jehovah's Witness, the second son is a Pentecostal, and the last daughter is practicing Omenana. None of them can live and eat from one place, from one pot. They made us a laughing stock, divided our land into borders and called them country. They called our nations tribe and are called the indigenous practices, fetish. They introduced derogatory in our holy words and made us a laughing stock in all over the world. Our young men are running to go to their land to wash pants in search of greener pasture. They made our land so uncomfortable so that we can run and serve them. They took away our indigenous leaders and gave us political rulers whose core value is to continue the puppetry of white supremacists. They introduced a hate speech in our language. They raped our mothers, defied our daughters, took away the intellectuals we had in our land, sold them into slavery. They built underground trains with our manpower. No reparation was paid. And they gave you a joint European slave union ship, JESUS, as a name for you to beckon on. The same ship that took your ancestors to everlasting penury. They took the best talents, and they are still taking the best talents. When you graduate the best, they take you and give you a menial job, which is better than what we have in home. Our people is flying all the days, selling their property, even their inheritance, just to go abroad. They made our land uninhabitable so that the consciousness in us will be driving us to a new land. Don't you miss your egusi? Don't you miss your nubu? Don't you miss your ewedu? Don't you miss your amala? Don't you miss your eforiro? Don't you miss your nsala? Are you not tired of eating McDonald's? Arise, he that sleepeth, awake from your slumber. Have you never asked yourself, why is the word job spelled the same way with the name Job? To tell you that your job is to make you be like Job, the character they created for you in your Bible. Arise, Mother Africa. Your children is tired. O ye sons and daughters, O ye black kings and queens, who ruled empires in the time past, who are indigenous to every part of the earth, are you still waking? Are you still sleeping? Arise, he that sleepeth. How can we sing our song in a strange land? The best of our brain is put in jail and accused of nothing. How can Whitney Houston die in a 5-star hotel and there is no CCTV camera footage? They are cloning our best, using it at their own will. How many Michael Jackson do we have? Where is Tupac Amaru Shakur? Where is Ken Saro-Wiwa? Where is Mazen Dandekano? Where is Thomas Sankara? Where is Idi Amin of Uganda? Where is Muammar Gaddafi of Libya? Where is Lumumba of Congo? O ye kings and queens, are you not tired of this molestation? If you want to hide something valuable, write it down in a book. A black man will never read. They've conditioned your reflexes. You are always ready to beg for alms. You are tripping into their land in the name that you are searching for greener pasture. Why have the visions of Kwame Nkrumah not be achieved? Why was Martin Luther King assassinated? Why is Masidi receiving death threat every day? The time has come, for we are in the age of enlightenment. I know the Mogamu. The labors of our heroes past can never be in vain. It is phenomenologically based that these people have strategized their plot against us. Anybody asking for a different opinion is jailed and shackled. Operation Python dance. Have you forgotten in a hurry who you are? How can the creator of knowledge be subjected as a slave? The first university in Europe was introduced by you, oh you black people. University of Salamanca in Spain. Are you comfortable in your suffering? They've made the naira valueless so that you will see need to come to their land. Arise, ye that sleepers. You waste your money sending your children to school to learn the 12 steps of Jacob. Who is Jacob in your lineage? Who is Jacob in your lineage? Okeke is not worthy to be a saint. Okafor is not worthy to be a saint. Okonkwo is not worthy to be a saint. We enlightened this modern day Europe. For 1,275 years, we did not colonize them. Colonialism is subjecting a people to another way of life imposed on them. But enlightenment is bringing people to the knowledge of truth for self-reliance. 1,275 years, we enlightened Europe. And after this, what did they pay us in return? Hatred. They are calling you black Americans. They didn't tell you the truth that our ancestors are living in Iran. In the time it was called Tameri. From the land of Kemet, the land of Kush, in the days of Nubia, in the days of Ethiopia and Abyssinia, in the ancient land of Igbo, there came a children of the grand rising, scattered all over the earth, as far as Tasmania. They just told you they found the 8th planet. Have you heard of it? The scientists have found an 8th planet. They are lying to you. The 8th continent, sorry. They told you they just discovered the 8th continent. Zealandia. They are lying to you. They've known since. The Aborigines of New Zealand, of Australia, the Tasmanians, who came from the land of Africa. By sending death threats, you cannot stop me. If I die today, 10,000 people will rise and continue. Divide and conquer. The greatest tool of colonial merchandise. Have you asked yourself why? Have you asked yourself why? When do we continue being a slave to them? My people perish due to lack of knowledge. We are busy electing people that are of no value in the all seats of Africa so that they can easily manipulate them. It is time we elect young comrades who are motivated, activated, and directed. A new radical madness that will say enough is enough. Have you not missed your friends back home, those in diaspora? Have you not missed your homeland? Are you not tired of eating Chinese fries? A king is eating noodles, sharing one room with 7 persons in diaspora, just to be able to save up little and send to people at home. We are in the age of enlightenment. Ayesiko no gas na abia no gamu. It is our job to utilize this age of enlightenment. Our ancestors took a culinary masterpiece, developed delicacies like onubu, ora, nsala, egusi, ubo, achicha, abacha, ewedu, amala, eforiro. Buono pinama gwamba nile di iche n'oge elugo mgbe anyị ama ife. Onye na-ekwetere ekwetere ya. Resound the horn unto the four cardinal points of the earth. The time has come that the black race will rise and start asking questions. Tusa n'oziọma n'ukwu na ndịna n'aka nri na aka ekpe. Gwa ọtụtụ mkpụrụ obi dị iche iche na-ala n'ụla na eziokwu esiro n'ọnụ ndị ọcha abịa. O ye ancient ones of motherland, are you comfortable in your misery? Every prison, our brothers are there. Every prison, our brothers are there. In America, in Canada, in Germany, maximum security prisons, Austria, India, South Americas. Africa, Mother Africa, your sons are beheaded in Malaysia and Indonesia. Your children are falling from 10-story building in Singapore. Your kids are drowning in Vietnam. The bamboo in Cambodia is choking your children to death. The Chinese are selling our manhood like souvenirs. Arise, he that sleepeth, awake from your slumber. If we can leverage our voice in solidarity, it will echo and create the ripple effect that will affect the change we envision. Self-knowledge cannot thrive without the understanding of the contributions of your ancestors. You think I enjoy shouting? I shout not because I love it. I shout out of the embitterness of my heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Speak it, O ye mother earth, that your children will not perish again. As I speak to you, your brothers and sisters are counting and crossing over the deserts, heading from Agadez to Libya. Some are in the waterways from Morocco to cross over to Spain. Many will perish in the transatlantic. Many will perish before they got to their destination. Go to IDP camps. Kings and queens are seeking asylums as internally displaced people because the motherland is no longer comfortable. They told you your ancestors are corrupt, whereas they are the devil who came to kill, to steal our resources and to destroy our heritages. Woe betide you, O ye sons and daughters of Africa, who still pray to their gods, who chose their deities above our indigenous pantheons. We must rusticate every remaining of their fallacy and agendas in our land. We have not forgotten the treachery of King Leopold. We've not forgotten how the Germany eliminated the Mama people of Kenya. How the British people watched more than 5 million children in the ancient land of Biafra to perish. Chinua Achebe wrote, this is a pogrom. A pogrom is a genocide targeted at exterminating a definite race. Cowardice is the order of the day. A man is afraid to talk because of death. Our girls, you can be a good tools. Since the so-called politicians are in love of your big cups, you can be a tools to use. Since they want you to always come and flaunt your body to them, you can be a tool for revolution. You people claim that your Bible told you in 2 Timothy 2:15 to study to show thyself approved, but none of you studying to show thyself approved. We must continue to raise awareness so that the 4 cardinal points of the earth will recount our achievements. Moderator, take note of the man called Jews. We must arise and attack the days with enthusiasm. Enough of us living in hope. There is a beautiful home in our faraway land, the greatest calm of the 21st century. Blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. The greatest speech ever written, the greatest deceitful speech ever written. It is the lack of the knowledge of history that made you to be praying for Israel. Before the Ottoman Empire war, is there anybody called Palestinian? The answer is no. The land belonged to your ancestors. The invaders, the Arab invaders invaded, took it over from your ancestors. The Europeans now came down, formed a treaty called Israel in 1948 to antagonize them. You are now taking side, either Palestine or Israel. Your knowledge of history is so poor. How saddening of you that you don't understand the vision statement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But as I said earlier, I will never discuss that on my live stream due to the respect I have for him. Moderator, emboss the man called Jews and get details of what he wants to do. None of your pastors have called for a prayer for the Igbo race. You are busy praying for Israel. Stupid Africans with no knowledge of self-knowledge. They've corrupted our spiritual system that our old men are now blessing kola nut in the name of Jesus. Madness in highest places. You raise a kola, and instead of you to chant the names of our ancient pantheons, through which we can communicate to Chukwu, the supreme energy, you open your wide gutter to say now for Jesus. You will consume the cola alone. I am not a party to that. No violence in my comment section. Everybody shouting God of Israel, God of Israel. Now we saw the way the God of Israel is responding. Since the war started, they've not even called on any God. The only God they understood is the God of war. Their ballistic missiles is what they have been launching against the Hamas. Unpatriotic elements like you, who has zero knowledge of patriotism. If we awake, we begin to converse against those kings that sit on the throne and say in the name of Jesus. We put them to death. They are not worthy to be our leaders. Uchenna Okeke ofe ka amara mgbe eji ke nkụ ụkwa ebe a ka m mekwudebe okwu a. The truth is this: cowardice has become the order of the day. Men are afraid of death. Nobody is patriotic enough to think of the greater cause. Great men wrote their name in the test of time. From time immemorial, great men defy the principles of cowardice. The attestation of their bravery is significant in their contributions. Arise and shine, O ye Africans. The black race, the light has come upon thee. Why do you think that to fly from Brazil to Lagos is so far? Because they don't want to come straight. They'll be rigmaroling around the earth. They don't want the Africans sold into slavery to know that they are not far away from home. They are distorting it in the map so that Brazil will look long. Let me shock you. All ye people in Barbados, all ye people in Bahamas, all ye people in the Southern America, you don't know that Africa is so far to you than you think. Sand dune from the Sahara Desert is getting to Barbados, is getting to Haiti. Sand dunes from the Sahara Desert is getting to Trinidad and Tobago. A sand carried by mere wind can lift from Sahara and stop at Trinidad. But if you want to fly with plane from Trinidad, they will make sure they turn around the earth before they will bring you to Africa. Why do you think they call some places no flight zone? If you are a pilot here, no flight zone is those places they don't want you to know that there is a piece of people living there. They lie to you. Our brothers in Southern America, in the Caribbean islands, you are so close to us. It wouldn't take more than 3 hours flight to fly from Caribbean to Africa. They lied to you. By turning you from Caribbean island to America, from America to Canada, Canada to London, London to Germany, Germany to... They make you think that Africa is so far. You will never think of coming home or aligning with your brothers. Creating stereotypes. It is high time we die once and leave legacies than dying many times before our actual death. Those in Africa, do you think you are still alive? If I go a place whereby your passport is nothing in any embassy you come to, and you think you are alive. I just got a notification that I'm out of data. If you are touched, send me a direct data. My data is low because I can't access any of my phone to recharge. I am streaming in 3 different platforms, drawing heavy data. You can send me direct data, not airtime, into my line. Shame unto our ancestors if we continue to live like this. It will be shame unto them. Their death will mean nothing. You are dead if your passport means nothing in ordinary Dubai. It's an Airtel network, not MTN. Don't send me airtime, send me direct data. Arise, he that sleepest. They keep on making us become fools and slaves. Nigeria is suffering. Africa is suffering. But every Sunday, you will correlate your offering and send it to Italy in the name of tithes. Someone have recharged my network. It is high time we start answering questions. Who told you that you were born with sin? A child born without any blemish was condemned by birth, that you are born in sin. Now to leave making him mayor. I don't have Spectral Net. This is what I have. Have Airtel and MTN router. Arise, he that sleepest. Those in TikTok, I will beg you to power tap to balance the network. The network is shaky. Power tap and raise the likes to 50,000. Okay? These are ways you can confirm. Help by power tapping is enough for me. Those in Facebook, help by liking to make the network stable. I received the data you sent to me. ụmụaka. Arise, he that sleepest. There are vessels unto honor and the vessels unto dishonor. How long do we continue to be those vessels of dishonor? You are spitting on the graves on your ancestors. Know the kind of data you are sending. If you send too much data that I cannot finish in a space of time, it becomes waste. Arise, he that sleepest. We are no longer in ụmụazi. Their terror could not finish us in that 1,000 years. We are now in ụmụazi, the age of enlightenment, the age of Aquarius, the age of knowledge, the age of wisdom, the age of research, the age of cross-examination, the age of principle, the age of facts. We will say no to faith. We no longer want to believe their cock and bull story. Show us one plausible evidence of the existence of these men. God of Elijah, God of Elijah. Is Elijah in your lineage? $20 gig funded. Thank you. Somebody sent 20 gig from TikTok. Another person sent 20 gig from Facebook. I use about 300 gig each 2 weeks. That is how bad it is. In every 2 weeks, I use up to 300 gig. May we live to be the shining lights. Thank you for the gifts, those on TikTok. May we live to be the shining lights. May we live to be the shining lights. We will strategically re-strategize ourselves awaken our mindset, reprogram from the original program. No, say no to cognitive dissonance. We must effect the change, but it will start by you reading and researching. You need to know that you are kings and queens, that our ancestors which they told you are evil men are actually men of valor. Self-knowledge, the first tool. You need to decolonize your mindset. No, Jesus is coming again to save you, O ye Africans. Show me a reader, and I will tell you a leader. We should start reading. Divulge many books and swallow. You need to fill your head with information, so that if they stop you and tell you otherwise, was an idiot told you that rapture is coming, you will tell them that you don't need to do good by virtue of religion, that goodness is actually an embodiment of an African child. You are not righteous because of heaven. You are not righteous because of hell. That the concept of good and evil has been instilled and passed down from the nation in your DNA. Do not be coerced, believing that rapture is coming. Thereby, many youth are telling me we are in the end time. I pity you, the world can never end. When you die, you reincarnate and come back. If you did well, you suffer, you enjoy. If you did bad, you suffer. It's a repetitive recycling. Start by reading how Europe decolonized Africa, how Europe underdeveloped Africa. By Walter Rodney. Read From Babylon to Timbuktu. Read Mystery Babylon, the mother of harlot. Did you hear me mention any book on Omenana? No, because I know it's a strategy. When you read all this book, you will be angry that somebody lied to you. You now come back to me and ask me, how do I now know Omenana? I'll refer you to some of the books that you can read for yourself. My people perish due to lack of knowledge. If you think my own kind of Dibiahood is to tell you to come, let us go and sit down and be doing nzu and orgy every day. That is not my message. My message is this: everything indigenous must be protected. The problem is this: the likes of Ivan Setima, Walter Rodney, Ben Joseph Yokanan are actually not white people. If our DNA, if our archaeology was preserved, if our genealogy was preserved, it might be that you commenting in the comment section was from the lineage of kings. that commanded empires. You are now reduced to a slave who wash plates. You are now in their healthcare system. Africans are the pillar through which they are sustaining their NHS. You are packing their sheets only for a mini amount of dollar per hour. Kings and queens working menial labor in another man's country. Flaunting the little wealth they gathered to oppress their brothers in motherland. They are taking your deities and housing needs, conjuring them for intrinsic knowledge and empirical research. And they are here praying against the Ekwensu and the Eshu. They've made you believe that the Eshu and the Ekwensu are derogatory statements. Who has bewitched you, O children of Africa? O black race. Our brothers, the Indians, hold on to their heritage, but they are busy cascading internal conflicts to make sure that the Yorubas and the Igbos are not in good terms, so that we will not know that we are actually one family before. Coercing internal divide amongst ourselves. The Benins are fighting the Igbos, not knowing they are one family. The Urobo, the Shekiri, the Ijo, the Efik, the Bibio, the indigenous people are fighting an internal war. As plumated by the Western supremacists, when you trigger unrest between a people, you can manipulate them and take all their land. Go and make research. Any place you will see United Nations coming for peacekeeping, they always come with their geologists. They begin to scan around the area. The area that has the highest mineral resources, that is where they will build their UN camp. At the end of their stay for the peacekeeping, they have taken everything in the land, and the land is left desolate. In the 42 principles of Ma'at, it is written, you must not defile the corpse of an ancestor. They are exhuming the dead bodies of our ancestors. In the name, they are doing research, because they are wondering, what manner of people is this? Exhuming all the mummy in the ancient world, looking for deeper knowledge to decipher who is us. May it be known in the whole world that we are the ninth ether, the indestructible 666, that contains the 6 proton, 6 neutron, and the 6 carbonated melanin contents. We are the beasts that are indigenous to every part of the earth. Cast your mind 7,000 years ago. There is no existence of the Caucasians. We created them in the lab. Those in Enugu State, they are telling you they are not interested in coal mining again. Sorry for you. They are still mining coal in Enugu till today, exporting it to China, where the Chinese are using it to generate energy, is driving their fuel. The new PMS they are using is coming from sugarcane. India also. You are shouting, giant of Africa, shame and woe betide you. May our generation be the leaders that will correct these abnorms. But how can you be a leader where the only content you can bring to TikTok is twerking with your nudes? Go to the Bigo app and see where our guests have sold themselves cheap, all to make little naira. If you come to TikTok, you are busy shouting camera down. Woe betide you. In the days of greatness, women are a vital tool in revolution because they are the easiest to access these top politicians. But this is where I will stop the explanation. What am I begging you, all you Africans? Build me a school where I will raise young minds. That is all I beg of thee. Build and equip a school for me. And in 5 years, I will give you students that are worthy to stand the test of time. Build me a school and I will raise the best brains ever lived. Build me a school and I will bring Philip Emma home. Build me a school, a coding camp, and I will draw Usmensa of Ghana home. Build me a school, and I will draw in my partners from Russia to teach us satellite imagery and positioning systems. Build me a school, and I will raise an army of thinking youths that are interested in working and not praying. A nation at the helm of damnation is awarding 120 million to a bunch of riffraffs that cannot even spell their name in the name of Big Brother. There is a power surge in my inverter, and I would love to go and switch on the power so I can receive freshness. If you are enjoying the teaching, kindly comment where you are watching me from. Comment your location, your city, and the country. Louis said, don't ask me that question on the water child again. It disgusts me. I've made the teaching. Go and look for the teaching. Comment where you are watching me from as I turn on my inverter so I can have peace. Forgive me, my inverter got burnt last week, so I'm using a lower inverter of 1.5, and my house is a 6-bedroom, 2-story building, 6-bedroom apartment. The 1.5 cannot carry the entire building, so at a point it gets power surge. If you can send an inverter, 5 kVA inverter to me, I will be so honored. 5 kVA inverter is what I am in need of to carry all the equipment. From Ottawa, Canada, 5 kVA inverter is about 400,000 or 450,000. If you can send me an inverter 5 kVA, I will appreciate. It's nothing. Oh! How do we allow ourselves to be used continuously, incessantly, by this same group of people that have nothing? How do we allow ourselves? I only need a school. Build me a school. In that school, there will be a research section for empirical research, engineering research section. There will be a history museum where we teach people the proper knowledge of history. And in 5 years, I will show you the roadmap of our salvation. For salvation does not come overnight. Salvation is a strategic business. When we allow an enemy to tell of our own story, what becomes of our people? Your uninformed pastor is raising a prayer point, telling you, let us pray against ancestral curse. And you opened your dirty, stinking gutter to pray against the people who gave you the meaning of life, the essence of your existence. How could you when a people has been programmed to not think? When you ask your pastor deep question about the Bible, the thing he will tell you, you cannot understand without the help of the Holy Spirit. Which Holy Spirit? Abraham blessings are yours. What is so blessed about Abraham? A man who gave birth at the age of 89 and 100. He gave birth to his first son at the age of 86. And his second son at the age of 100. Is that what you wish for? Abraham, a man who could not enjoy his lineage, he had to sojourn and go to another land, a wanderer. Is that the blessing you are claiming? The same madness our ancestor from the ancient Bakongo Empire, King Mvemba of Congo, one decision of King Mvemba have left generations in Congo to die in poverty. Oh, ye King Mvemba, May the ancestors question your gullibility in the sands of time. If not that you converted to Christianity, the land of Congo would have realized its full potential. The great empire of Congo, the ancient Bakongo Empire. Until we decide to go in the right direction. Until we decide to go in the right direction. The black race don't have one single language. We can do a ballot box. Let every part of Africa. Are you listening? Let every race in Africa bring one ballot. Let us cast a lot. Put it in a ballot box. Roll it, and pick the language selected from all the races in Africa. That language we picked, at least one or two, will be made indigenous in Africa. Everybody will learn the new language. Give me 3 years, I will master that language. And that will be the secret code of our communication. But how can we achieve this when we have a bunch of coconut heads as presidents? Old men with nothingness in their brain heads, who should go to that death, and they are wandering in the political empires. Can't we have one language in Africa? Let us select the top languages in Africa, those that have majority: Igbo, Yoruba, Swahili, Hausa, Afrikaans, which you know Afrikaans is like a mixed language. How can they make Swahili the official language in Africa? Have they taught Swahili in your school? It's not to make noise and say Swahili is the official language. Did you teach it in any school? Then we bring a ballot box and put all this language and say it's a free and fair election. We will tilt the ballot box and pick 2 languages. Any language that we pick, a young child of 4 years, we pick it. The person that is speaking it will be blindfolded, so the whole world will see that nothing is partial. Any language we pick, we develop a curriculum and believe to teach it in the whole schools in Africa. In 3 years, we master that language. If we want to talk, we talk in one voice. But our brain is not thinking, because our leaders are not leading. They are busy embezzling, looting our funds. Europe and Arab have dealt with us. The Chinese are coming. Mark my word, the Chinese are coming to take over Africa. A person who had the guts to translate Bible in every indigenous language in Africa did not even fathom the need to translate basic science subject in your language. When the Chinese comes into Africa, that is when you will understand a new modern kind of hardship. Go to East Africa, the Chinese are almost buying everything remaining there. It is not of he that talketh, neither it of he that shouteth. It was unto them that listeneth and implements. Where is your vision statement? What does African Union have in stock to achieve in 5 years' time? What is your short-term vision? What is your long-term vision? You are talking of African Union. They could not build their own conventional center themselves. That the Chinese have to give them $200 million to build it for them. Even set up a database for them there. Anything you say in the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, they are hearing it in China. Stupid Africans. Bunch of old men without technical know-how, governing a group of intellectual abilities. That's why we have so many unfulfilled dreams. Let our president swear by the deities of Africa that if they loot that which is handed over to their care, may they be struck by the ancient power of Shango, Ekwensu Amadioha, Udo, and Ogugu. May Eshu roast you with thunder if you steal our money, and I give you 5 years, Africa will be good. But you are busy swearing with Quran and the Bible, which has no potency. Ndeli Madu siemo si bia begi buli si baterege chilwa yo taneto gan, you are not asking questions. And ekene Maria jupte na gracio so bulu wano yelem. Aya no tole kene Maria makiba ye jupte si na gracia. The time has come, and the time is now. Continue to pray to a foreign God that holds no power. If you don't reverence your ancestors, the innate ability to invent will elude you forever. But if you reverence your ancestors, they will spark a consciousness, they will ignite a consciousness through your agu. Your pineal gland will be elevated to begin to release cosmic knowledges, intellectual profundity. We will rise and say enough of the nonsense. The time has come for us to reclaim our mandate. Freedom or nothing. Even at the point of death, freedom of nothing. Even at the point of death, freedom or nothing. Gone are the days when men were men. Gone are the days when men were men. What we have now is a bunch of chickens. Bunch of chicken living the fake life. Enough is enough. Oh, you can cry as in the modern world. Why don't you use your social media platform to campaign and advocate for the freedom of your people? Facebook have set a distraction in your ear. You are begging for monetization. Facebook sent me a message that my page that has up to 22,000 followers cannot be monetized because someone is telling them that some of the nonsense they mentioned, because I don't care. And I was like, to hell with your monetization. Is that what I'm here for? If we don't utilize this age of awakening and this organ passes us, generations to come will spit on our graves. It took me years studying chemical engineering to understand the essence of alchemy, trying to understand the transmutations of matter, only to leave and find out that everything I've been taught is near to lie. We must learn to hold on to our heritages at all costs. The greatest hit song in the world today sampled ancient tracks. Call me a top musician and I will give you a hint who they sampled. Which means old is gold. Jeremiah 6 verse 16. Your Christian Bible told you to go and search for the ancient ways, that is the way of life. It's right there in your Bible. Jeremiah 6:16. Old is gold. The curriculum they gave you in Africa is to make you an engineer that can only repeat what they told you. You cannot think outside the box because they've caged you with their standard. I pity some of us studying some course in school, irrelevant courses. Business admin, sorry for you. If I say it, people hate me. 90% of, in fact, 97% of the courses we study today in school is null and void. Null and void. You that is a son of a nobody. You that is a daughter of a nobody. That you have first class in business admin does not mean that you are a better businessman than Chikasin Group. Are you a better businessman than Innocent Motors? Are you a better businessman than the Ekulo brothers? Instead of creating wealth, we are living in an economy. The word economy is etymologically from the word economia, the study of lack, the management of house. And you are clapping for yourself. I am a graduate. Coconut head, and what if I begin to see? Not knowing you've wasted years studying nothing that will influence your life. Nothing. I made a video begging average parents to stop sending their children to university. People are shouting at me without understanding and understanding so that they can understand my point. How many PhD holder and business admin are owner of enterprises? I'm asking you. How many PhD holder in business administration are owner of enterprises, public limited liability company? Public and limited liability company. How many PhD holders? How many masters holders? Because of getting there is a clear disparity between education and knowledge. In knowledge, there is skill and trend. There is Microsoft skills. There is micro, there is medium, and there are mega skills. And there are also tangible skills. Egigwe. With your PhD, there is no atolobete. With your master degree, there is no atolobete. You are working under the sun with a suit, another person's identity. Ibwe tolo tolo. When do my generation start thinking? Build me a school, let me raise an army of change makers. A people driven by passion. A people driven by passion. We prepare them alongside my partners. Because I am not only myself, we are legion. I told you, men every day, new partners are indicating their interest. We have empirical scientists now, lab technologists are joining us, microbiologists have indicated, we have surgeons have indicated to be partners. I have so many engineers, physicians, and physicists joining the group. I am raising an army of like-minded change makers. Our shame is shaming me. Our shame is shaming me. We are recruiting silent warrior. I might be the face through which they communicate to you, but we are legion. We will strategically take back our land. This is an open call to every intellectuals in Africa. Regardless of your tribe, regardless of the nation which they tagged you, we are one. We must build synergy. We must wake up and attack the day with enthusiasm. Take back our land. And I give you 5 years. We are in the gold mine of victory. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you, my darling. Every blessed day, silent soldiers are indicating interest. What they want to contribute. Mas, put me in job. Put me. Let me contribute this place. Very soon, tycoons will begin to fund us. We are looking for funds. Because we can't build school with empty mouth. Funding is a vital part of the revolution. Intellectual revolution. I believe more in intellectual revolution. When we build intellectual know-how, empower our people to be of intellect, an army, a legion of thinkers, creative thinkers, where we even engage in constructive criticism. We bring out our own research and we constructively describe and criticize it without apology until we get the best. We present it to the world. we will be able to raise a technology that can challenge Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Do you know if an African developed a page like Facebook and declared that all Africans should boycott Facebook, we take over Facebook? Facebook, if you like, ban me after the live stream, I don't care. To hell with all this nonsense. Can't we host our own satellite? Men are dying in cowardice. A coward died 10 times even before his death. Enough is enough. Without intellectuals, we lose the war every time. China created TikTok in 2 types. The first one is called Douyu. It is only operated and can be accessed by Chinese. If you post twerking video, you won't go viral. Your account will be banned. They want you to engage in brainstorming. You see them posting intellectual research, new marketing strategy. The algorithm of their search engine optimization is aimed at bringing out the best to limelight. But in Nigeria and the rest of the world, they gave us a type of TikTok, the average TikTok you know, that trends video of twerkers more than intellectual property. You see men going to girls that show their nude, dump them TikTok lions. But Mazi is shouting. You can't even power tap. The algorithm will not push the message to go far. They know what they are doing. Keep Africa in the dark and the whole world will be happy. And North Korea told its engineers, North Korea told their youth, I will give you 1 month. If you cannot write a code that will work like this, Facebook cannot function in North Korea. In the space of 1 month, they develop their own. This is how a country functions. Sometimes extremism is needed to bring the desired change. We need intellectual extremism. But in our country, every website that opens today, any app that comes today is welcome. Nobody is thinking. The government is busy arresting Yahoo boys. They don't know they are the best cyber experts they need to employ. Until we know that they lied to us, we can't do otherwise. I think at this juncture, I have to summarize today's teaching. I don't want it to be longer. The message has left. We are in 4 phases in the Igbo cosmology. Even the Indians recognize this as our students. We call it Oga in Igbo. The Indians call it Yoga. They added a Y in the front. I'm telling you people, there is verisimilitude in our spirituality because we taught them. The Harappan civilization of Indians was initiated by the black people of Africa. And that is why you still see the tribes like the 7 tribes of India, still indigenous Africans. Go to Calcutta and see Indians blacker than yourself. Harappan civilization, African developing India. And they built their first University of Nalanda. The British destroyed that university. Go and research about the University of Nalanda. Nalanda. And thank me later. Viewers all over the world. I am still Mazidibia, the teaching magnet, the custodian of the Arophone deity. Abum Kemubu Nkusi Kona Akuzi, Abu Moji Nkusi Emoji. You cannot come before my live stream without learning something new. It is not by my making. May our ancestors radiate more energy to all of us. I implore you to think, not just listening. Think and initiate this action plan so that Africa will rise again. At this juncture, I believe that you've understood that Ogaka, which the India called Satya Yuga, Ogachi, which the Indians called Treta Yuga, Ogamu, which the Indians called Dwapara Yuga, and Ogazi, which the Indians call Kali Yuga, is the 4H phase of manifestations. And now we are in the Ogamu, the age of enlightenment, the age of Aquarius. The quest of knowledge is at its prime. May we be alive. May we live to be the tools and vessels of honor through which the black race will be liberated from Western slavery. May we be alive to challenge and counter the wrong norms the Europeans and the Caucasians brought to our land. May we be alive to correct some of the latchkeys and delinquencies the Arabs brought into our land. We are the holy of holies. We are in the age of fact. We do not accommodate faith. If you tell me anything I don't believe, don't get me to believe. I want to know. If there is no fact, if there is no proof, if there is no reference, if there is no validation, then it is not plausibly enough for me to conform. At this juncture, I've come to the end of today's broadcast. May you ponder on my words, and may you help me to realize the dreams. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. I need a school to build an army of like-minded change makers. We need funding. If you want to support, you can support. We have a foundational account. We need funding. You can also help us incorporate in CAC so that we can access funding from the government also, if need be. We need lawyers in our team. We need legal practitioners. We need doctors, surgeons, engineers, technocrats. We already have a WhatsApp group, but we are recruiting silently. Before you are nominated to join the group, we are watching you. All of us are watching you. We are not only me, us from the crowd. And may our agro vibrate higher in our cosmos, so that everything needed to set Africa free will be ignited through us. These are my chants. Ashe, Ise. Have a wonderful day.